Word.
They can get women them to submit to them on a level that you can't. If you're just a guy that's working a 9 to 5 and you're an average guy, you can't follow what these guys are saying. You need to get your bread up front.
Want to get married. They just want to have a girlfriend and boyfriend for the rest of their life, which is fine. I'm not judging.
You just look uncomfortable saying that.
No. I'm just explaining the situation. And everyone, I always say, look, like, again, I'm a woman of God. So, like, Islamically, we already have that preset. Like, my thing is my thing, and, like, your thing is your... We don't do the 50-50 thing.
I tend to be very traditional. Anyway, like, I don't have to wait till I marry a woman to start moving, like, this woman is a woman I want to be.
It's your woman, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. I was going to say channel. I mean, come back to my channel anyways, but welcome back for another episode of Conscious Conversations. It's your favorite girl. Today, we got another accent in the building. Yeah, we got another accent. I'm really fucking with you lot this season, you know. There's a couple of you lot from the Midlands that are coming through. I've got RTIST in the building today.
Come on.
How are you?
I'm nice, man. It was a long journey down, but I'm here now.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. You come down from what, Brum?
Yeah, bro.
Brumtown.
Yeah.
Chat to me. Come on now.
Yeah, man.
How's Brumtown?
That's a big conversation.
It is still.
It's getting better. A lot of Londoners are starting to infiltrate Brum now.
Not infiltrate. You know what? Yeah, the Midlands. You don't always say this.
Yeah, it's true because like with all the HS2 and all that going on now,
right?
And uni and all that. Like nowadays, when I walk in like the city centre and the Brummies that are watching this, they'll be able to relate to what I'm saying. Like you don't even really hear Brum accents like that no more.
Really?
There's a lot of Londoners up there.
Oh, London needs to get out, man. We're going everywhere. We're doing everything. It's because London is just like pushing us out.
It's true.
We can't live it.
But you know what? A part of me is.
You don't want it. You don't want it.
No, not even that. A part of me, yeah. A part of me is smirking about it because I've got family down here, and like, a lot of the time as well. Even my friends down here, they'll be slewing the accent all the time.
Yeah.
From Birmingham, blood.
Yeah, the Brummie
slewing the accent, and then now I'm seeing a lot of yous coming up here now because you're getting flushed out, and it's just. It's amazing to see stuff.
It's a full circle. Nah, do you know what? Yeah. From when people started hearing rent prices and house prices outside of London, everyone's like, yeah, we're out.
Yeah, like,
we're out.
Obviously, I'm not going to say the person's name, but I know someone that is down here and they're paying like over $1,000 a month for like a bed sit.
Stupid money.
Like, you can I swear on it?
Yeah.
You're nearly shitting and sleeping in the same place and you're paying over $1,000. Whereas like in Brum, for them kind of prices there, like you can live all right.
Bro, let me tell you something. Yeah, I was looking to get an apartment in London just before lockdown. Yeah. I was actually going to move to Brixton, shout out to Southside.
I'm down there.
I was going to move to Bricky, but I'm an East London babe.
Yeah.
But you know, I have love for the South.
This is the mindset.
Yeah. Come on, cheers. Yeah. And I remember looking at a studio flat for 1.7.
Wait, hold on.
A studio. Take it. The big reveal, honey.
You saying 1.7?
1.7 per month, not including bills.
Okay, where was it though? Was it near?
It was near a station. Yeah.
Was it near Westfield, like close to Stratford?
No. So it was right. Like when you go. Have you been to Brixton?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm familiar with London, just not up here.
Okay, not the north side.
Yeah.
But so you know where Brixton Village is?
Yeah.
When you keep going and they're on Cole Harbour Road.
I've never been that far.
Oh, okay, cool. But basically behind the village, they were building like new builds and stuff, right? And they were opening it up to the market and they dropped the prices, whatever. And that was the price drop. And I said,
so what was it before the drop then? Like 2 bags? Like
did you think I even looked at it at that point? I'm not gonna lie.
What made you go like that way though?
I've got a big community of people in Brixton that I really, really fuck with.
Yeah.
Like I spent around 3 years basically living there. I was there like 4 or 5 times a week because I'm also a boxing coach. So I used to...
Hold on. We're not going to just skip past that. Hold on.
Chat to me.
Because obviously they say don't judge a book by its cover, but...
Don't judge me.
I'm judging you.
Judge me.
When I first seen you, like, I thought like, you want to start the podcast,
cute little...
Yeah, like, but then like, you're telling me you're a boxing coach. How long have you been boxing for? And how many people have you licked down on the way?
Wow. Well, legalities. Say you can't say nothing. But I've been boxing 4.5 years, maybe. Yeah, just under 5 years, I would say. Yeah, and then when lockdown...
Competitively?
So yeah, I went amateur. Originally, I just wanted to go into boxing because I felt like I needed the mental discipline.
Yeah.
I lacked a lot of discipline. Growing up in East London, growing up in poverty, growing up as a minority, all these little things. Like, your childhood is...
That's mad though, because you'd think growing up as a minority, that's where I relate. Like, we don't have the most discipline because we have to.
No, we have the most discipline because we have to, in terms of like out of respect, because that's how we were raised, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of like facing prejudice and racism, like the way I was raised was, you know, some of these Caucasian people, they won't like you. They won't like you, and they won't accept you. And don't think that just because you're friends with these lot, they see really you as the same. You, and I feel like a lot of minorities were raised that way, just to have that awareness of like, okay, cool, like there's going to be a racist or a this or a that. So you need to know how to deal with it. Like, the first fight I ever got into, like outside of like professional boxing or anything, was because someone tried to take my scarf off at school. I was going up the stairs, going to Spanish. I was like in year 8.
Oh, okay.
Secondary school, whatever. Because I put on my scarf when I was in secondary school. And then I remember someone just like, anyway, and this person was, you know when there's always that one person that you can tell is just a bit you've been looking at me a type of way, like the way you speak to me, your tone's a bit off, cool. This person saw the opportunity and thought they can just yank off my scarf.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
I mean, well. But off the back of that, I ended up getting into the fight, whatever. And I thought, nah, like...
Did you bag him though?
Of course. Of course. Because you see me, I'm someone that is like, how dare you think you can have your hands on me? At that age.
That was rightfully so, though.
And it's not even like, it wasn't even like, if we had an argument and then it went left, that's different. Do you get it?
But you just started something out of the blue, so
do you get it? Get that. So, boom, and off the back of that, I was like, I need to start boxing because I grew up very empathetic towards people and I'm very sensitive towards the world, if that makes sense.
If you like that, you live a long life if you're empathetic too much, man. I learned that the hard way as well. Like, trust me, if you grow up being empathetic towards people too much, you just end up just...
I mean, it's I always say it's my biggest curse and my biggest like pro. Definitely, because communication is benefited through empathy. And I can, speak and carry a conversation, obviously, with the things that I'm doing and whatever it works for me. But also empathy leads to putting everybody before you.
Exactly.
Up to a certain point. And then, you grow up and you have to make decisions. Do you know what I mean? You got to, how can I put my foot forwards and be like, you know what? I can understand, I can empathize with you, but I can't necessarily help you right now.
Yeah. That's the main thing that I feel like is important sometimes. I feel like sometimes, especially your friends, even in relationships, like you want to be able to do certain things. You want to be able to take the person out of their misery. But unfortunately, how it works in life is just only the person themselves can get themselves out of that. So you can't bring yourself down with that person.
Yeah, 100.
That's just how it goes most of the time.
So what was your experience that made you learn that, hey,
I've had too many, man. I would say it happened mainly with myself because when I was 20 years old, that was like the worst point in my life. Like I went through depression, all that stuff and whatever. Like I'd imagine most people do. I'm not unique with that.
Right.
And like, I just realized that I just got one day, it was just one of them for me. I got lucky where one day I just woke up and I was like, bro, like, I just had a chat with myself. I'm like, yo, like, you can either sit down there, fat as hell, you're growing breast fam, like doing all these things, not having healthy habits, doing these things, and feel sorry for yourself, or you're gonna have to just pick yourself up because everyone else is gonna just say things or whatever, but it's not them in the situation. And that's how I feel towards everyone else. Like I can't, like what I said, I can't help everyone. Like, everyone can only do their own thing and bring themselves out of certain things. So that's what worked with me. And I feel like people who bring themselves out of it, they never get back to it again, or they know what to do when they get back to it. So it's important to leave people to figure things out themselves rather than be dependent, make them dependent on you, because they're always going to turn to you and not have that skill for themselves because you're not going to be there forever.
Right.
You get me? So sometimes I feel like out of love, like it's very important to just leave people alone to their own devices at times.
I agree, but I also think that like, it's good and well to carry that mentality and apply it as much as you can. But when real life is hitting...
True, it's very true. But like anything in life, nothing is easy, is it? But in the grand scheme of things, you got to just have that mindset of this is going to be best for them. I'm not saying just completely ghost your friends that are going for it. That's not what I'm saying. I'll never do that. But like, especially with men, Like, I feel like you got to just leave men to their own devices to sort their shit out.
Yeah,
That's how I feel personally.
I agree, I think. And do you know what's ironic about that is that I said this on another episode, is that I'm the oldest.
Yeah,
and the way my dad raised me.
I've heard you say that a few times.
Yeah. Do you get it? The way I was raised to be like a man. So I only realized that in more sensitive moments.
Okay.
Because the way I would react or the way I'd digest information or the way that I want to feel is very different to a lot of women. I'm very much like, leave me alone. Like, I need my space. I need a day or two to just like.
That's how I move.
Yeah, don't chat to me. Don't even look at me because I might take it personally and I will beef it again.
And
Do you
I
get
wouldn't
it?
want smoke in a boxer. So
do you get it? Oh my gosh. Let the people know who you are, what you do, stuff like that. So people.
Wait, what camera am I looking at?
I mean, you got 3 on you. That's the main. That's your solo camera. That's my camera.
So
Boof.
I'm RTIST. I'm from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Specifically the north side of Birmingham. I'm not gonna say where, cause some of you people are too itch up. I'm a musician. I've been making music. I'll say seriously for like 2 years now. And yeah, that's me.
How's music going?
It's all right. It's slowed down a bit because I haven't been releasing as much, but I'm getting back on my monthly releases now.
Nice.
So there'll be something releasing before the end of this month, and then the same for next month, and next month, and next month.
Nice.
I've done various appearances and I've been invited to a few podcasts, but I'm not saying just because you're here, but I've declined bare podcasts, because I feel like a lot of people ain't got their shit together with the podcasting thing.
Period.
But I've seen this podcast and I like the setup and I like how you have conversations. I thought, let me hit you up, see what you're saying. And,
I love that. And do you know what? I'm someone that is like, I love the realness.
Yeah, that's me.
I love that.
But you know what? At the same time, sometimes the quote unquote realness that I move with, it holds me back sometimes a lot.
Why?
Because like there's a lot of opportunities that I've had, and like I'm just looking at my phone and thinking like, bro, like I know you don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with you whatsoever, and it's gonna be all long and like nah.
But that's not a loss then.
It is in a way because some of these things can help me, and I feel
of course they could.
It would take me a longer time than the average person to sort of get on in the music industry, because the music industry, like other guests have told you on here, it's just plastic, man. It's a load of guys just faking the funk, and even music as a whole, like music is entertainment. It's just a load of actors that can record. Like,
well, now
I don't have I'm not saying I have an issue with that.
No, of course.
Everyone does their own thing, and it's all entertainment. But,
right.
At the end of the day, I just don't carry myself like that. And unfortunately, it's gonna make things long. But I'm happy, and that's the main thing. For a long time in life, I was not happy, and now I'm happy. So everything else is just extracurricular as long as I'm happy in what I'm doing.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that transition from because it's very important that you said, you can't help people. You kind of have to bring yourself up.
Yeah.
Because I've had my fair share of depression and whatever. And I remember going through the mud, and not leaving my bed for weeks on end. Do you get it?
I can relate.
Right. And I remember, not to say that this is everybody's experience or this is everyone's out, but I just remember waking up one day and thinking, I'm tired of being sad.
That's exactly,
I'm tired. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of destroying myself mentally. I was just and I just got up and I just did something. And every day I said to myself, I'm just going to do one thing today, one thing. And I just kind of, not to say I got over it because that's a bit wild, but I worked my way out of it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people nowadays, please don't take this to offense, but they don't have the inner willpower to take themselves out of certain situations.
Can I just keep it 1,000 right now?
Go on, do your thing.
In my opinion, a lot of people are just bitch made.
Chat to me.
And that's just my opinion. And I don't attribute these to the ladies, because you ladies, you kind of, ladies are going to be more emotional. There's going to be certain
even
things,
biologically.
Yeah, there's going to be certain emotions, and I'm cool with that. In terms of the mandem, a lot of mandem are just bitch made. When I look at how people are raised in Eastern countries like the UAE and other
African countries,
other places where literally you have to walk 15 miles just to get to school. These guys are happy and they got way less. And there's people over here, including myself at the time, that was just upset and bitching about things that are just so minor in comparison to that.
Right.
So I feel as I said, especially with men, we just have to sometimes be left on our own devices and realize that no one is going to save you, bro.
And especially as a man, I would say. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's survival of the fittest these days, man. And if you're weak at it, it kind of is what it is. So that's why sometimes, as sad as it sounds, I've went through that. I'm not saying just because I went through that, everyone else should, but there has to be an end, bro.
Of course,
you can't sit
in that cycle.
And because a lot of the time, it's the own person's fault why they're in that. In my opinion, like.
How do you mean?
Yeah, sometimes people. Okay, for example, like me. Like, say I was in a relationship and my girl left me. It's okay to feel sad. But then when things happen, like, okay, you start going to the gym, then you start eating shit because you're not going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then because you're eating shit, you start to look like shit. And then you hate yourself because you feel like shit and you look like, and it's just a constant.
It's a domino effect.
Downward cycle. I feel like, especially as men, like, you got to get used to doing things despite your feelings. Like, you got to go to work every day despite your feelings. You got to take on these healthy healthy practices despite how you feel. I don't like going to the gym. This shit hurts,
Words.
You get what I'm saying?
Trust me, I used to say that. I was like, you think I like to train? You think I like to be in boot camp?
Especially the boxing. Like, the boxing is... I tried Muay Thai for a few months and I was like, bro... I do want to go back.
He said, bro.
I was like, bro, like, this is mad. Like, I'm getting wrapped up by some 18-year-old. Yeah, that's just going ham. Like, it was just a madness. But at the same time, like, I must approve for a bit. But period, anyway, with things, I just feel like you have to do things, especially as a man, despite your feelings, and reap the benefits of your later in life. Like, no one's going to force you and kick you at your ass and say to do. You have to be that inner voice, and there's no one out there to save you.
Do you feel like we have that nowadays with the man?
Nah, because social media, I feel like it's cringy when people talk about it, but it's true. Like, social media, like, just makes people bitch made.
I think I agree. I think a lot of people are victim, and that stresses me out because there are a lot of people that have gone through real life stuff and actually have gone through a lot of mad experiences, and all you fake victims that are doing up and playing out for social media are reducing the, like...
It's not a shock. It's not
like you're reducing the value of someone else's experience. Do you see what I'm saying? And they've really gone through that, and they've really got the trauma and all these things that come off the back of that, and they're working through that. And then you have these people that are just here to get attention, and I'm not with it. I really am not.
Do my head in, man. Yeah, like what I said, like, there's people going through way worse, and I just feel like, again, like, there has to be a point where you have to realize that what you're doing is not productive. Again, you could sit down and be in your house, post on Instagram, I'm dying and all that stuff, but it gets to a point where, okay, where's this going to lead you? Are you going to buy a yard from this? Are you going to, like...
Do you think that's like more of a how you were raised type thing?
With me?
Yeah.
I guess being how I was raised is always going to play a factor in that. But I think I had to go through that myself when I went through that madness that I did for about a year, I think. I went through that madness, and then I had to get myself through that. And now that, like, I look back and I see everything that's happened, like, now I'm just like, bro, like, some of these things that guys are complaining about, not to compare, like, anything, but, of course, like, it's just like, bro, like,
there's bigger fish to fry.
Exactly.
There's always bigger fish to fry.
Life is too short to be sitting around being unhappy over nothing. Like, you know, the thing is as well, like, I feel like feeling like your feelings will tell you what's right. People always know what the answer is. We just make it complicated. I like that. We just make it complicated.
Yep. My dad has said it to me my whole life. He said, life is simple, Miriam. He's like, we humans, we complicate it for ourselves. We make it harder for ourselves.
There's people that are watching this now that are probably watching this with someone and they're not happy with that person.
Oh.
And they know they're not happy with that person.
Y'all better get up.
And that person's going to turn to that person that they're not happy with and be like,
listen, I'm not trying to break up, no, nothing. You get I'm involved.
Life is too short to be doing anything that doesn't make you feel happy.
Yeah, don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because one day we're going to be sitting around in the care home, old as fuck, not be able to do anything. And to what? Waste our life being unhappy.
I mean, God forbid I end up in a care home if my kids don't come and take me in. Are you mad? Not the way I was raised.
Because I don't really want kids. So
really?
Yeah. Everyone says that.
What's your ethnicity?
I'm Caribbean.
Okay, like from where more specifically?
Jamaica.
Fully. Okay, so
I'm not trash though. I'm not trash.
We shall see. So what? You don't want no kids?
Nah.
How comes?
Oh, there's so many reasons.
Really? Oh my god.
There's so many reasons.
Go on, chat to me.
One, I just feel like the typical family these days, like a man, a woman, kids, that's finished today.
Yeah, we don't have like any traditional model anymore. We don't have like traditional roles anymore. Like the nuclear family is not a thing at all.
Finished, and like people over here are so accepting of co-parenting and like living in stuff like that is just mad to me. Like I'm not on that, and like things like if I'm with a woman and say I'm with her, I get married and all that. Like if she just waits a one day, like, you know, fuck this shit. Like I don't feel like this. Like I'm gonna lose half my peas. She's gonna get custody of the youths. Like there's nothing in it for me. Like so I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where like someone can do that to me.
I hear you. But I think that's more the logistics of marriage than it is like
even having kids. Like more time if you're in a relationship with someone.
Right.
And say you have kids with a guy. And then for whatever reason, years down the line it breaks up. Who's gonna have the
He said, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Who's gonna have the rights over having the kids?
Yeah,
the guy is gonna be stuffed.
Like, well, we can split the kids 50-50 custody.
I'm not on 50-50.
You can take the kids then. I'll come through on a weekend.
Yeah, but how many women are on that?
No, it's not a thing.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
I couldn't put myself in a situation like I'm secondly right now, like with my life that I live, like how like today I'll just flew down to London. Other times I'll just get bored and I'll just be like, oh, I just want to go to Spain this week or whatever. Like, I couldn't move as freely.
I hear that, but I also think, just going back to the point before, I think that's more of like you're seeing it from a perspective of if it goes wrong. It doesn't need to go wrong.
It's very true, but
it doesn't need to go wrong.
I'm the kind of guy that I'm probably too logical for my own good.
Okay.
And like I'll just see it as like, yeah, like I'm out with this girl now, I like her, it's cool and whatever. But despite my feelings, there's a good chance that at some point down the line, we're not gonna feel like this again. And in the worst case scenario, we don't feel like this again. What? I'm gonna lose my youth, lose this, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but you're just going off of. I hear what you're saying. It's more like regardless, I'm covered type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're backing yourself, and I respect that. I understand that. But again, like I'm a firm believer of like, you never know where life can take you. And if things are going to go left, they went left for a reason. True. Do you know what I mean? And so we need to go through certain things in our life in order for us to fulfill our purpose or for us to wake up or for us to grow. So true. Like, I've always like, I grew up thinking I never wanted kids. I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to do any of that stuff. And then I got a bit older, you know, I went through life and I thought, do you know what? Like, I want to get married. I want to have a bag of kids.
Wait, you don't have to say age on here, but you're older than me.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
I'm 22 too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Love that. I mean, people know my age, so.
Yeah.
I think you're the first person I've had as my age.
Oh, sir?
Yeah. Okay. But I went through that thinking, okay, cool. Like, I didn't realize what I wanted for myself. Now I'm at a stage where, you know, I went from being single, not wanting nothing, and then had a few relationships, and then I got engaged, and then and then I cut that off, and now I'm like single and building my life again. Right?
You see, that just proves my point right there.
What do you mean? I didn't know. It doesn't prove your point. No, it doesn't prove your point. And we can get into that later, trust me. Yeah. But my point is that I got to a place in my life where I've said, in an ideal world, I would love to get married and I would love to have a bag of kids, like, and have the money.
Oh, you want the whole squad?
I want a bag of kids. I've always like, I want to have 4 of my own. I want to adopt 2. Like, I want a big family. Do you get it? Like, really? I want my house full of people. Like, I don't want to be like just solo.
I wish I had that in me to want that.
But on the other side of the coin, if that never happens for me, I'm content.
Yeah.
I'm very much like that. I'm like, you know what? If I don't get to have that in this life, I'm content.
Yeah.
Because that was what was written for me. Do you get it?
So it's more like from a belief standpoint.
This is a spiritual thing for me. Like, so do you believe in God? Because obviously you said you're quite logical.
I'm in the middle. Like,
okay.
I'm in the middle.
How come? What is the middle? Because I've never heard that.
I can't sit here and firmly say, yeah, there's no such thing as a God and because that's ignorant. Like, I can't firmly prove that there isn't. But there is a lot that doesn't make sense. And the way how I stand is that the world or anyone doesn't owe me understanding. So I'll just move. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious, if that makes sense. I believe certain things are supposed to happen for a reason. I believe all that kind of thing, but I can't firmly say that there is a creator. I've never felt a connection personally to a creator or a God or anything. But at the same time, with certain things, there being a God does make sense. So I'm just kind of
I hear you.
in the middle.
I hear you. Saying? Yeah. I think it's important that you said, like, you've never felt like a personal connection.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the main things that people say when they're in that mindset. Like, you know, I don't believe in God, or like I do, but I don't really believe in religion, and and like they'll say, you know, I've not had a personal connection with this person.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's not like I'm closed off to it. Like,
no,
I've
I know.
I've got a Quran in my room. I've got
a
Bible in my room. I've got
have you read through them?
I've looked through bits and bobs. I probably should look through a bit more, but I'm not closed off to it.
Yeah,
like whatever happens, kind of thing. Okay. And if it's meant, if there is a God and he does, like, I have that personal connection, then boom, I'm in.
You're in.
But if not, then not. And plus, like, a part of me is kind of, I've had this conversation bare times, but a part of me is kind of scared to, like, really join a religion, because, like, I'm the kind of guy where if I can't do something all the way down to the T with chest, I just won't do it.
Do you know what? I hate that. I absolutely hate that, because everybody says that to me, but that's not what faith is about.
I understand.
Do you know what I mean?
No one's perfect. Like,
no, it's not. Obviously, no one's perfect. That's evident. Do you get it? I've never met. Have you ever met a perfect human being in your life? Do you get it? Like, perfection is not a thing. It's not real. But, like, it's the idea that people think in order for you to be a part of something, you have to be all in or all out. That's not how faith works. Faith is a lifestyle. So it's not about, like, being perfect or being up to par. Like, I believe in God in it, so I'm going to say God obviously knows. If he created us, he knows that you're not going to be perfect. It's just about remembering him and going back to him. That's what faith is about. But the only reason I asked that, obviously, because you said you didn't want no kids, you didn't want to get married, all these sort of stuff. I was like, oh, okay. Like, because I don't think I would actually be as open or on it with marriage and kids if I wasn't a woman of God, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I would never have kids out of wedlock, like, with intention, obviously. Do you know what I mean? And, like, I would not, like, I'd have to get married. You have to marry me in front of gods.
I feel like, obviously you're different because you're a woman of God and certain things. I feel like, generally speaking, though, like, from the people that I spoke to, like, when I speak to women about these things, they have more of an idea in their head, like, at this time, this is going to happen, and this and that, and like, whereas the man, them, like myself, I'm more like,
it's when it is. When it comes, it comes, and if it doesn't,
that's another reason that's probably put me off having kids, because a lot of women have came to me like, I want kids at this age and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
but that's just how women are, like, not necessarily how women are raised, but their communities and the environments within, like, young girls, like, even when they're toddlers and stuff and you bring them around other kids their age and whatever, that's all they get. Like, they play around, they want to be mum and dads, and they always get bred into that. Like, they already know, they have their wedding in their head. They know what dress they want. They know where they want to have their wedding. They know how many kids, by what age they want to be married. That's almost like, it's almost like a rite of passage that women have to go through growing up.
And it's almost subconsciously drilled into women.
Of course.
I feel like, I just feel like, for men these days, like, the dating scene and that idea of everything, it's just a bad deal for us, man.
Really?
Like. Unless, like, unless you're like a person of God, and the other person that you're dealing with is a person of God, or you date someone that's more like from an Eastern background, cool. But here in the UK and, like, Western countries, like, it is an absolute myth.
Do you know why? Do you know why you said that as well? It's because when people have a common belief system, you kind of know their intention. Do you get it?
You know exactly what it is.
So it's easier. So you're like, okay, that's my person. Like, point blank. Like, do you get it? But when you don't have that, it's like scary. The streets are scary, and people are on anything and everything. And if
trust me, the streets are scary.
Streets are scary. No one is fearing God. Is wild. Like,
I
just
keep myself to myself, because the streets are very scary, man. And, like, I feel like for men these days, I feel like we are expected to sort of be traditional no matter what. But then women these days are just on an absolute madness.
That's interesting. I've not heard that.
Madness. Like, I feel like, okay, say, like, I took a girl on a date.
Right. Yeah.
It's normal for me to, and I'm not complaining about these things because I'm a guy, this is what I do.
Right. So this is what I do.
It's normal for me to pay for everything. It's normal for me to, especially if it's my girl, provide, protect her, all these kind of things, like all the kind of, nowadays women want to compete with man, do all kind of things. Like it's just, I just feel like nowadays, like it's okay for women to choose when to be feminine. And for guys, we just have to be masculine no matter what. And I feel like it's a bad deal for us to like really, like these days anyway, with how a lot of women have been moving. This is from my experience anyway.
That's very interesting that you said that. Yeah. That women choose to be, like they get to choose to be feminine.
Exactly.
That's very, I don't know if I 100% agree. I see what you're saying. I feel like women nowadays, regardless of how or why or whatever, have stepped up to a level that is very close to how a man is.
What do you mean?
In terms of providing, being a bit more alpha, being a bit more this, being a bit more that. Like women are bossing up in a way that is in a way where they're adopting masculine traits. Do you get it? Yeah, and I think when men see that, not all men, when men are seeing that, they're thinking, well, there's nothing else for me to do. So then they start adopting feminine traits. So the man them in my eyes are getting softer and the women are getting tougher.
I fully agree with that.
And I think it's a problem because even though, yes, I hear what you're saying in terms of like men have to be like traditional, whatever. I don't think you have to be. I just think it's in you. You're men. Yeah. You at the end of the day, when you have someone, I see what you're saying.
Do you see how it fucks things up though?
Of course, it's off balance.
Go on, sorry.
Like when you step out of your role and you start changing your role, you're going to put the other person off balance. And then these things happen. I completely agree and I completely understand. But also, why, right? People always think, oh, you know, like, obviously, this is not everyone's case. I'm not going to say it's everyone's case. And I know a lot of women are just out here doing fuckery and just wanting to be boss babes and be like man them.
There's nothing wrong with that,
which is a separate thing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But like a lot of women have been put in those positions from early. So they're raised to be like that. Do you get it? And then not until later down the line in their 20s, maybe, you know, in their 30s. And then now they want to settle down and have a family where they're realizing, because I've had to be this way. But now when it comes to my partner, I'm building a family and I want to be feminine. How do I do that?
I heard someone say that. I think it was either Andrew Tate and the Freshman, them guys.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have to say this year, I need to look in the camera here. You see you man them here that are following what Andrew Tate and Freshman Fit are saying and all these guys, that's cool, do your thing. But these guys are millionaires. Yeah. Well, they can get women them to submit to them on a level that you can't. If you're just a guy that's working a 9 to 5 and you're an average guy, you can't follow what these guys are saying. You need to get your bread up from and level 100. Up in other ways before you try and follow them, man. I had to get out. But
period, yes.
But, like what I was saying though, I agree with what you're saying, but the fact of the matter still is that
there's a discourse.
And I feel like a lot of women, and these guys said this as well, and it's true, like a lot of women feel like the more money they make, the more what they're doing, it's going to attract a guy. We just look at that like what you said, like, so what am I providing 100%. Here? Like, what?
Yeah, because a guy just feels like the role that I'm supposed to be in,
you're doing both of it.
You've taken over.
And there's a loss of respect as well. And that's the men's fault because, especially in Caribbean communities, there's a lot of single parents going on. And then what would happen is, say like if there's a man and a woman now, they're together, and then the man buggers off his own thing. The woman's on their own raising the children grow up with no father figure, so they don't know how to be a man if it's a man, or to respect man if it's a daughter. And then when they grow up to be independent by themselves, when they find partners, they're thinking, I grew up without a dad. Like, men are just, and then it's just a chain of like, just a disrespect for men and not feeling like you need men. So I'm not putting it all on the women. There's a lot of men in older generations that didn't pull their finger out and do what they were supposed to do. And then it led to like now where everyone's kind of just out here on the streets.
My thing I've always said is like, when you come from a single parent household, everything is different.
Of course.
It's very difficult. Of course. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether it was being raised strictly by the father or being raised strictly by the mother. Because at the end of the day, a woman can't teach a man how to be a man, and a man can't teach a woman how to be a woman. Facts. Point blank period. You need both of those figures. You need, especially when you're being raised, your upbringing at young, Facts. Because that's when the foundation is set.
Facts.
And if that's missing, that's when we start mixing roles because the parent had to. They had to take it on because one of them is over there, the other one has gone over there. Do you get it? Now you have 3 kids in a house that needs to eat and you got to pay rent now. Like,
so, out of curiosity, what do you feel like is the solution to that madness? Obviously, you're a pattern because you're a woman of God. You're more time from. Is Algeria from, innit? So you're sorted. But
why am I sorted?
Because the culture's different over there. It's very different.
Okay.
I don't feel, obviously you can educate me because I wouldn't be as well versed as you, but guys over there ain't just on free willy and just busting off shops and having kids. Like, that's not happening over there. Like, that's not going on.
I hear you, but
and the women them are being women over there. So like,
do you know what it is? I think most African cultures are very heavy on culture, and African households are very traditional, more time, like point blank period, like they just are, like with or without religion. I've always said I was raised on culture. I was never really raised on faith. I kind of had to find my way to God through like my life.
Okay.
But even though obviously everyone within my immediate family is Muslim, but that's not the point. So when I was raised on faith, it's very much like respect your elders, do this, do that. Like I grew up with both parents in the household, and then my parents got divorced. So I've had both sides of the coin, and I think... Did they get divorced when you was at a young age? When I was at an older age, yeah. So it was, do you know what I'm saying? But, you know, when it comes to that, at that point, there's a period of time where you're basically, they're not even, do you get it?
Yeah.
But I think the solution is we all need to take a step back and we all need to unlearn all this modern role stuff. Now, because people think, oh, you know, a traditional woman is a housewife. No, a traditional woman is a woman that knows her roles. She provides within the house and she can do her thing. Like she has a job or whatever. Like she has a career. She has something. Because at the end of the day, like a man's not going to, some men, but you know, they might want it. But most men would want their woman to occupy their time.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not out there.
Having a woman that just doesn't, like, don't get me wrong. I'm the kind of guy that, like, my dream is to be in a position where, like,
you can just
when I've got a woman, like, if she just works if she wants to,
right? But that's everyone's dream. Trust me.
But it would kind of piss me off though. Yeah. Like, if I just come back from work or whatever,
and no one's home,
just lying down in the yard doing nothing. Like, I'd be like, just fucking do something. Like, do you get me? Like,
right?
Set up a little nail business or do something. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
Like, get your bag. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
but that's my point. That's why I say, like, people think traditional roles within a man and a woman is a man like provides obviously completely, and the woman just stays at home and cooks and cleans and has a bag of kids, and a man's out here living his life. No, like a traditional husband and a father is someone that is present. Is someone that is motivated by their family to bring the bag home and provide. He knows that your family is, you've got to eat today. You've got to eat next week. You've got to eat next month. You've got rent to pay. You've got to sleep. Do you get it? You've got to be comfortable when it's cold in the wintertime. You've got to have heating. That's a man that's gone and getting his bag because he's providing for his family. And a woman is somebody that can make sure her man has a support system, whether it's through food, whether it's through just maintaining the household and kids, whether it's through, like, even if you don't have any kids, whether it's through, like, building something for yourself that can be a representation and reflect your partnership and your relationship. Because at the end of the day, me and you are married. I represent you, you represent me. Do you understand?
It's
so
facts.
We walk the same walk. We walk the same path. It's just you're walking ahead because you're leading.
So you're saying that you feel like the sort of solution is just let everyone just ride it out?
I think the solution...
Because I think personally, like, this is gonna sound.
I don't think there is a solution.
I think it's common, you know. I think it's common, but it's gonna take a few generations. I think it's gonna take a few generations of long after I'm gone and all that. So like for a lot of men and women, but specifically women with the boss babe thing and whatever, to realize that, yo, like a lot of this shit doesn't even make me happy, you know. Like I just want to be a woman to have kids, and because a lot of them do feel like that.
Yeah.
But they have to do this boss babe thing because they feel like it's the
way to go. My thing is this: I think majority of women want to be in a partnership and want to have kids. There are women.
What does partnership mean though?
Partnership and marriage, on if they don't believe in marriage, like have somebody there and whatever. Because some people they don't want to get married. They just want to have a girlfriend and boyfriend for the rest of their life, which is fine. I'm not judging.
You just look uncomfortable saying that.
No. I'm just explaining the situation. And everyone, I always say, look, like, do your thing and just do it with love and prosperity. Do you know what I mean? Just don't do a thing and ruin people's lives.
Then again, you're a woman of God, so it's different. Because what I was gonna say is, what if like you found the guy of your dreams? I think you know where I'm going with this. You found the guy of your dreams. He does everything that a man should do, everything that you could imagine. But like he's just like, babes, like I don't want to get married because of X, Y, Z and da. But I will do everything you want me to do for the rest of your life.
Well, you won't, clearly. Clearly you won't. If you love me enough to respect my wishes, because at the end of the day, if marriage doesn't mean anything to you, but it means something to me, then it should be easier for you to do it because it doesn't mean anything to you.
But who suffers the consequences of that harder?
So we can have a prenup. I'm cool with that.
Really?
100%.
You're a first, you know.
I'm cool. Because people, again, I'm a woman of God. So like, Islamically, we already have that preset. Like my thing is my thing and like your thing is we don't do the 50-50 thing. Like I get a certain percentage or whatever. But like at the end of the day, like if you've built certain things and I've built certain things, as a woman, I'm entitled to mine. And unless there's certain requirements, do you know what I mean? If I have kids or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I'm on a prenup thing. Because
Easter girls are different, bro.
Do you get it?
Because I remember one time I was in a relationship with someone,
right?
And we was talking about like marriage and stuff and that. And she said something, and this will just live with me for the rest of my life. This is the reason why I feel like this. Like,
oh no.
So she's talking about marriage or whatever, and I'm saying like, marriage. I was just straight up. I just said like, marriage doesn't mean anything to me because I'm still gonna do everything that I do now, which you are more than happy with. Whether if you got a ring on your finger or not.
Right.
Because as I said, like I tend to be very traditional. Anyway, like I don't have to wait till I marry a woman to start moving like this woman I want to be. It's
your woman, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was just saying like the reason why I said, all right, cool, I'll do it. But like you do realise that the risk is mad for me because if one day you just wake up down the line and just like what I just said to you earlier and you whatever, cool. And she was like, no, like that's how it's supposed to go. Like if I break up with you and everything that you've got is mine and this, that, and and I just thought, oh my God, like it just made me realise that like, and this is someone that like we both had a lot of love for each other and she said that casual. And I just thought like, like women tend to love like more opportunistically than what men do. Like me as a guy, like I don't care if a girl works in Mackey's. I don't care if.
But that's because of your role as a man. You need to understand with women, the biggest and most important thing, whether women like to claim it or not, is financial security.
Of course.
Whether you like, because you're the provider. Because you need to understand, regardless of anything, whether it's religion, non-religion, tradition, not tradition, whatever, regardless, you're taking this girl out of her family household or like away from her parents' guardianship to be taken under your wing.
She was on the boss babe too.
If she was on a boss babe thing, then I don't know why you're complaining. But
exactly.
Yeah, that's different. So but I'm saying, regardless of the matter, like I could have businesses. I'm cushy. We're together. We now separate. Yeah. At the end of the day, regardless of the fact that I have my bread, you took on the role as my protector and my provider. Now, am I entitled to half? I don't think. Or I'm not on that.
Yeah.
But like a cheeky 5%. Do you understand? I can deal with that.
The issue is, I don't have an issue with because if it's someone that you got love for and you just break up just over like irreconcilable differences and it's just calm, then I'm the kind of guy that'd be like, you know what? You was my girl for a long time. You held me down. Let me make sure you sort it out. I'm cool with that. Yeah. My issue is the entitlement part. That's what my issue is with. Like, it's just, you can't be a boss babe and be on the independent settings, but at the same time, you want a guy to provide for you and do this and do this. It's one or the other. And this is what I mean when I say that women get to pick and choose when they want to be feminine. But I can't say, yo, today I feel like walking around in heels and doing a madness and wearing a skirt. And you just smile at me. No, I wouldn't do that, but it sounds funny me saying that.
But what? Okay, so how would you define a boss babe then? Because why wouldn't that go hand in hand for you?
You asking me why a boss babe wouldn't work for me?
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with anyone. It's just my thing is just you can't pick and choose, and no matter who you are, I don't owe anyone shit. I do things that I love. Like I don't step into things and thinking she's entitled to this and this. I do things that I love. My issue is entitlement. But with the boss babe thing, for me personally, like that, I don't feel like that would work for me. It's okay. It's cool if you're doing your own thing. You got to cool, but I'm talking about to the point where like it's because some of them are just out of control, bro. Like, some of them are just out of control.
Oh, no,
like
not
I was actually, I don't even want to bait this out, but like I was talking to someone at one point,
right?
And like again, like I was paying for everything, doing what I was doing, whatever. This was some time ago, and like she was moving like she had an issue with it. Like she was like, oh, like I could pay for this myself, for this, that, blah blah blah. And it became an issue, and I'm there like, okay, so. What am I supposed to do then? Am I supposed to be asking you for peace? Am I supposed to be like, just chill? Just
I think that's silly. Like, I get it, but I think that's silly. Like, please, why are you complaining about getting shit paid for? Do you understand? But if it's something where you really, as a woman, you feel like I've been in relationships, I've gone on dates, whatever, where I've just paid. Like, that's the bill will come, or like even before the bill will come, I'll just go, I'll give him my card to be like, just pay for the thing.
How did the guy feel in that situation?
No, but I'm saying that's within a relationship.
Oh,
so like,
that's a bit different.
And if it's a date thing, then I will offer to split. And like, if he wants to split, then it shows me something. But I will split.
But it's one of them ways.
I'll be like, okay, so you wanted to spend half. You only want to pay for your meal, okay? No, but it's not. It's all like, I don't take stuff like that serious. Because at the end of the day, I'm also just not stepping out if I don't have money. But as a woman. Yeah. Like, if a man is willing to just pay off your meals and cover your transport, take you home, and you're complaining.
I was doing all of that.
What?
And, like, she was just moving like she had an issue with it. Like, and I remember one time, like, it's gonna make it bait. But fuck it. One time, I paid for some, like, it was a big hotel at the time, and like I was just like, I was gonna surprise her, whatever, cool. Like, she got there, she was just, again, just moving on the boss babes thing, like, oh no, like, yeah, I'm grateful for it, but like, next time I'm paying because this, that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, in the end, you just, I respect it. I appreciate that she wanted to sort of like alleviate things, but the energy that she gave off, it's almost like she wanted to grow testicles.
Well,
do you get what I'm saying?
Do you know what? I hear what you're saying, because I was going to say to you, I've had moments where I felt like that. And I might be like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you spent all this money type thing on me. But there's a way in which you can conduct yourself as a woman in front of the person that's done all of this for you. I'm not going to come and be like, oh my God, no, like I should have paid, or I'm going to get the next one, or that. Like, no, I should be like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done this, but thank you. And even if I might feel a bit uncomfortable, because, you know, some women aren't used to men splashing out, and I know that's completely different, but it comes out differently in people. And realistically, you might not know what the main reason off the back of that is. Sometimes it's just silly mentality, and sometimes it's off the back of it's just new to them. Do you get it?
Yeah, I feel like in that instance, it was just like she was on the boss base thing, and then when she met me, she just knew that was just extra okay. And then, like,
that's wild.
And then I don't feel like she liked that, because I feel like she was conditioned to sort of
be the person.
Be that way, and then she just anyway she just ended up like
she ended up,
and it's a shame, because she could have been patterned, but it's one of those things where women generally get to pick and choose when they want to be women, and us as guys don't, and that's what's fucking a lot of things up.
I hear that, I really do. So what do you think is the reason why men aren't as fluidly expressive, or not allowed to be as fluidly expressive as women?
With what?
With just like picking and choosing, like when they get to be soft, when they get to be macho, when they get to be this, when they get to be that.
I think nowadays they do.
Yeah, but you just said that you don't feel like the men...
Okay, in terms of... Okay, I feel like that personally, because that's how I am. And a lot of the men that I'm around and whatever, like we don't have days... Like there's been loads of times in life here where like I've had to do certain things and whatever, and I had to just bite how I feel and just do it as a guy, because that's just how it goes. I would never ever be like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to work today because, like, I don't know, because, like, I just want to be in the yard and be in my feelings or whatever. Like, the bills are not going to get paid.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? We don't get to pick and choose that, because we face the consequences immediately.
Right.
Like, whereas a lot of... And I'm not complaining about this. This is how it is.
It's your responsibility type thing.
Yeah, but whereas with, like, a lot of women, like, even if she's a 4 out of 10, there's some simp out there that will fund her. That's just how it is.
It's true.
That's how it is.
It's true. I think women, we're way more privileged than we like to show.
Yeah.
I think that women also are very... Okay, I think women nowadays in the West are a lot more opportunistic. And it's because of that. It's because they know there could be a 2 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10, and there'll be someone ready to provide their life.
And it's just...
I low-key respect it, though.
Everyone. Everyone just needs to just humble the fuck down,
yeah,
bro.
Word. Everyone needs to
like, I'm not a millionaire yet, so I'm not expecting certain things from a woman what I would when I become that. And it's the same thing as a lady. If I have to just be real. If you're a woman and you've got a next man's use and you've got other issues with you can't expect a man to move you the same if you didn't. Like, everyone just needs to know where they're at on the board. Do you know what I'm saying?
You can't move the same with every single person. You have to tailor your experiences and how you are with people.
Exactly. So...
How's the dating scene for you going then? Are you on
I'm
a
just
single?
not taking part of it.
He said, deuces, I'm out.
I feel like as a guy, obviously I've spoken to girls or whatever. I'm not just a weirdo, just
yeah.
But like, I feel like for me personally, at this point in my life, like my age to like 27 are the years where I need to graft and make myself the best person that I can be.
I agree.
And not just for me, but for whoever I end up with.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Me getting into like something serious at this moment in time, I feel like it's just gonna be distracting me from what I need to do, basically. And I feel like I just need to just graft, do what I'm doing. If someone comes along the way and changes my mind with that, cool. But where I'm at now is just I need to just do my thing and become the best that I can be, so I can not accept anything less than the best that I deserve, basically. Because a lot of it starts with me, and where I view life is everything is my fault. I never blame anyone for anything. Like, if I wake up feeling like shit, it's probably because yesterday I didn't eat good food. If I end up with someone that I'm not happy with, like, I accepted them in my life.
Right, you let them sit and take a place in your life.
And I'm player one in my life, and I hear all the time, I'm the CEO of my life, so I hire and fire whoever I want, so you won't catch me here just bitching about people in my life. Like,
and a successful CEO is what? Accountable.
Exactly.
And you need accountability in this life. Exactly. And you know what? I think that's what we lack. And I think that's why we're here today. Because the man them unaccountable, the women are even worse. So we're all just out here.
I think they're both just as bad. Like, a lot of man them are bums, bro.
Oh, no.
Bums,
bro. The man them are...
Not even just financially, but mentality-wise, bums.
Thank you. But some of these women are accepting these bums and then they come and twist up their life and now you're mad at the bum.
But the issue is that, again, even though women accept bums, they're still living opportunistically, because a lot of women will accept the bum because they see something in them that they could be. So they try and get with the man and change them. And that's one thing that men don't do towards women. I don't ever get with a woman and try and think, okay, she's how she's now, I'm going to try and change her. Like, if you're for the streets, you are for the streets.
I hear you. I completely understand that. Men are very like, this is what it is. Like, if you've done this is just how I feel. Women are very much like, we're more empathetic. We believe in potential. We're very much like that. We're like, you're my man. I want to help you reach your potential. Like, I want to help you. But I think a lot of women understand that you can't change someone if they don't want to change. But then I also think that that's kind of innately within us. Yeah. Like, when you have your man, you want your man to be the best.
And a lot of women are a sucker for pain. That's just I'm generalizing.
No, a lot of women want to heal. They want to heal everyone.
Yeah, like,
and you can't heal people.
I feel like a lot of women are a sucker for pain, man. Like, I feel like, you know how much times I've heard like a woman say to me like, oh, if I was in a relationship, if it was good for too long, it'd be boring. Like, I like to have arguments and stuff to feel the passion.
I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. Like me, I don't know. I want a peaceful life. I want peace.
I give what from?
I just want peace. Like, I get it again because I think women, what it is when a man is arguing, sometimes it can be very attractive. You get it? Sometimes your man is just looking at you a type of way.
I don't argue.
Screw fit. I don't you get argue. It? Like, all of these things. Yeah. So I understand it. Yeah, but me, I want peace.
Yeah, I don't argue, and I feel like that's the reason why, like,
you were like, no.
Because I don't argue. I'm the kind of guy where, like, if you're fucking up, or even if I'm fucking up, like, I'm not one of those guys that can't admit them wrong. I'll call you or I'll come see you, like, look, babe, like, I was fucking up here because of X, Y, Z. I'm sorry. Cool. But, like, whereas if it's on her part now, I'll just say it straight, and I'm sometimes I can be very, what's the word? Sorry?
Monotone, like.
Yeah. I'm just like, look, man, like, this is where you fucked up here. This, that, da. I'm not going to be on the phone here. Like, we're arguing like we both weren't there. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, why am I going to spend all this time arguing and shouting with you? Like, you're my woman. I don't want to feel like I have to chat to you like the mandem.
Yeah.
You get me? With the mandem, we'll fight and do all like cool, but like, I'm supposed to be able to talk to you on levels.
Yeah.
Without arguing with you. So when I hear like a lot of girls say these things like, oh, I want to be able to argue to feel the passion or whatever, it's just like... I'm just probably just not meant for the dating scene. That's what it is.
I hear you. Do you know what I hear? Part of you just like, I'm over it. I'm tired.
Are you tired as well?
Oh, I've been tired. I've been tired. Because it takes a lot for me to argue. Like, I'm someone that's like, if I know what I've seen I know what's right and what's wrong in this predicament, you can argue with the wall. That's me. You can argue with the wall. Or argue with yourself.
Random question though.
Go on.
What was your first heartbreak like?
What was my first heartbreak like? My first heartbreak.
And how mad was it? in as much detail as you can. I'll answer the same as well.
Okay. My first heartbreak was my first like long-term relationship. When I say long-term, it was just under 2 years. And I was young though, whatever. Grew up in the ends, obviously. I was with someone that wasn't necessarily the best at the time.
I know exactly what that means.
You already know what that means?
Yeah.
But obviously, because of the way that I grew up and the environments I grew up, we all grew up together. Yeah. So regardless of anything, I've been done knowing you, my family knows you, like, you're good peoples, you're just not on good things. Do you get it?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe around like a year and a half in, he ended up going to jail. I might have to bleep some of this out. But
I'm glad I'm even living.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, certain procedures when a certain person's in jail, comes out of jail, now X, Y, and Z, comes out of jail, he cheats on me. Yeah. And I remember finding out...
Sorry, before you carry on, was this person in jail for a long time?
They were in jail for... I think it was 14 months. I think 14 or 16 months or something like that. Yeah, that was the time. But came out, went to a couple parties, obviously fresh home, whatever. And then he went and did what he did. And I remember like just being on the phone to him. I was in sixth form.
You're like, you're still feeling it now.
And I was like, yeah, calm. And I just cut the line.
Yeah.
Cut the line. I was like, don't speak to me. Don't think you can disrespect me like that. After you went to jail and I stayed with you, God forbid. And then you come out and you cheat. No way.
That's a madness.
And I thought, yeah, cool. And at the time, obviously, we were all younger and I wasn't sexually active. And I was in a committed relationship with somebody that knew that and was respectful of that. So part of me was like...
Wait until marriage settings.
At the time, it's not even just waiting until marriage. At the time, I just wasn't on it. Because I just didn't feel like it was... People respect me for me. People like me for my vibe. All the extra stuff, like, it really would take a lot for me to get like that with you, especially nowadays. Yeah. But when I was young, I just wasn't on it. I was like, everyone's out here just sucking and fucking and da-da-da-da. And I can't do that. I'm so sorry. I'm not involved. I wanted to be a respectable woman. But anyways, and I felt like for a long time, a part of me was like, it's because I never... did this with him, it's because I never and I understand it from a man's perspective. I completely do, but
you should have kept it 100 though.
Do you get it? Like, if you want, you commit to somebody for over a year, for 2 years, and then that's what you do, knowing that that's the person that you're with is on the complete opposite. It's like, cool. And then from the back of that, like, I remember I just thought, this is mad. I just remember thinking, this is mad.
How mad was it though? Like,
it was mad.
But mad as in like
I went through the motions.
What was your day-to-day routines like after that?
My day-to-day routine?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah. This is dangerous territory.
You don't have to go into details still.
This is dangerous territory. I'm somebody... Well, actually, no. I was somebody who is very much on a vibe of like... I really didn't like to sit in my feelings. So when I was going through my first heartbreak, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why am I waking up sad? Why am I waking up sad?
You give me like random vibes, you know?
I'm telling you, I was great. The mandem, like I said. I just remember thinking, why am I waking up sad? And I was like, what? Because of this dickhead. I remember one time, because my mom was like to me, why are you crying over a guy? Because I remember, heartbreak.
So your mum's aware at this.
Yeah. I was like, Mumsy, because I love him. She's like, this is your fault for falling in love with someone that's gone jail. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just remember thinking, rah, the age that I was at, how young I was, and the fact that was my predicaments at the time.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I don't need to be sad today.
Yeah.
And then I just, honestly, to keep it a buck, I just started getting to know people and dating around and just dipping into the pool a little bit. Now, did I commit to anyone or get into anything? Nah. But I think it was just a matter of I needed to know that I was comfortable enough to do that again. And I'm cool. And I think heartbreak is a weird thing.
Heartbreak is the best thing that can happen to a guy.
To a guy, yeah. Yeah. To a guy. Not to a girl. Yeah. Once a heartbreak happens to a girl, it's just long. It's long. Yeah. Because I think people really underestimate how much, how sensitive that is for. I know it's very. Of course, it goes both ways, and it's sensitive for a man, and the man go through it too. But a lot of women place their value on these things. Do you know what I mean? Especially when they're young. So if you're going through that's why I always say, I don't advise people dating and doing that at a young age. I always say grow up a little bit, 16, 18, early 20s, then you can do your thing. Because at a certain age or at points in your life, you might be able to handle it, but you might not be able to handle what comes with it or comes out of it or what comes from it.
Facts.
And all of that really affects how you grow and your mental state and your self-worth and your value and your self-esteem, etc., etc. So, yeah, I think just having that for a woman, having that heartbreak at a young age was a blessing in disguise for me because it taught me a lot. I don't go for the same man anymore. Do you understand? We're not doing them things there. Been there, done that. Do you understand? But it also, I was grateful for the experience.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have learnt really certain things.
Yeah. I respect that stuff.
Yeah. What about you? Go on.
Mine was
take me out the hot seat.
Yo, it was madness.
Yeah. Oh God.
Because at this time, it was around the time where I was going through all the depression, all that stuff, and then that happened, and I was with this person for time, and when we broke up,
right,
I was fucked.
Right.
I'll keep it. I was fucked.
Yeah.
Because on top of what I was going through as well, I was fucked. Flipping, I wasn't. Everything that a person's supposed to do day to day, I just wasn't doing it. For a long time, I was just in my room, just fucked. Couldn't move, wasn't eating like that. I was just completely just out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
But then
I started training, to be fair.
This is what I was gonna say. What happened is I started going gym. I went gym, and I wish I could just throw a picture up, but my body just changed rapid. I put on 20 kg, and just not literally 20 kg, I'm exaggerating, but I put on a lot of muscle mass.
Yeah.
I started eating right. I started reading books. I started taking certain my life just changed dramatically after that happened. I started getting close to my family again. I was making 4 songs a night. I was on a complete madness after that. And then one day I just remember sitting down. I was like, wait, hold on. I was heartbroken. Swear down. We're here.
We're just here.
And then that's it. And then it's almost like these. I'm like, bro, I can't wait till someone breaks my heart again.
Do you know what that is? He said, do you know I can't wait. Do you know what that is though? You remembered who you were.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, when you forget who you are,
yeah,
you will never be happy.
Yeah.
Until you go back, whether you like who you are or not, it's a whole different thing. But if you forget who you are, and when you go back and you remember who you are and you start building, all this productivity stuff comes natural. You don't have to work to be productive. You don't have to stress about doing X, Y, and Z. Remember who you are. You're about this.
And the thing, what made it worse for me is that, I was in a relationship for a long time from a very young age. So, I didn't know who I was. I was always used to... You grew
together. You didn't grow individually.
Yeah. And that's a good and a bad thing, but it's a bad thing in this sense when, you don't know who you are yet. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know anything or whatever. So it's when me and that person broke up, it felt shit for a bit, obviously, but after I was like, yo, I can do anything that I want. And not even
because you didn't have your own individuality.
Yeah. And now, for a long time, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I don't want.
Right.
I know whatever. It was a good thing that I went through that young. But to anyone else, I wouldn't advise dating under 20.
Yeah. I agree.
Because honestly, especially as a guy, under 20 years old, You have nothing to offer a woman.
You have nothing. And even the women at the age of 19, 20, what do you know that you want
exactly
in a guy? You might like a guy because he's funny and that's enough for you to want to date him.
And that's bringing another conversation. Yeah, that's the reason why I think uni is a scam.
Oh,
because at 18 years old, did you go uni?
Yeah.
At 18 years old, how are you supposed to know what you want to do with 37 grand of debt? Is it more? No.
If I speak, I can cry.
What did you do?
I did film.
Okay.
So I'm a film director.
It makes sense.
Yeah, creative director, stuff like that. I did film.
What's your software? Final Cut?
Yeah, Final Cut, Premiere Pro.
Oh, so you just use all of them?
Like, I've got Final Cut because I've had it through uni.
Yeah.
But, like, ideally, Premiere is, like, the thing.
You use Final Cut in...
Yeah.
I thought it would be more Premiere, because Premiere is supposed to be the one that's more...
Premiere, and they used, because Blackmagic also has, like, an editing software and stuff.
Is that DaVinci?
Yeah, DaVinci is for color grading.
Okay.
And then they have a Blackmagic thing in the
middle. Yeah.
But it's under the same bracket, do you understand?
Yeah.
But I use Final Cut because when I bought my Mac... there was a student offer to have it on. So my ass was like, let me grab that as well. Like the North African in me was ready, so I was like, give me that one as well. Do you get? And then I used that throughout uni. On the uni like computers, like studios and stuff, they would have Premiere. But, I use both. Not that I'm an editor, I can't edit.
Also,
I mean, I can edit brief, basic.
So do you edit this?
When I need to, yeah.
Oh, so you saw it.
When I need to, yeah. If when I don't need to, I'm not on it.
But uni is a scam, though.
Uni is a scam. Uni will rob you for your money. I think I'm literally in like 50k debt.
Did you do a master's?
No.
So how 50k?
Because it's certain bursaries you have to pay back. Not all of them are just wishy-washy.
I thought for the most part, most of them are
the standard ones
free.
that they give you through your household. Those are the ones that are free, and then some people can apply for...
Well, you got the big one.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's long for me.
But you only pay it back once you start earning...
I know, but at that point, I think I might just fly out and go somewhere else. I'm not going to lie. 50k of my money you want to be sitting there. Yeah. Or I'll just... I mean, not for the cameras. This is not what I can't do for the cameras.
But you is definitely a scam, man.
Yeah.
The age should be moved to like
21.
21 is a healthy age.
Yeah, because by that point, like you would have more experiences in life. You would have tried different things. Maybe you'd know what you want to do. Like my sister's 18. She's she's supposed to be going into uni or doing something after college this year. And she has no clue what she's doing. She's like, Mary, I'm just here for the vibe. Like,
but that's bullshit. Can you blame her though? She's 18. She's getting bags into her account, and she's gonna be around other 18-year-olds in the same settings. Like, she's gonna just want to vibe.
Yeah, and most people first year change course. So loads of people left after first year. Did you?
Because I was studying in Birmingham City University.
What did you do?
I done psychology with business.
Nice.
And
okay.
Bare Londoners, man.
Yeah,
that's what I
Londoners love psychology. You know, that psychology degree is all over it.
Bare Londoners, man. And when I was there, I just remember like every day I'm just going to the lessons and I'm just thinking like, I'm like, what? Because I remember when I went to college, I was like, yeah, man, I want to get into being a counselor, doing that kind of thing. Like that was my thing.
Nice.
And then I got there, done the first year, halfway through the second year now. And then like, I was just pissed off because I'm like, I don't like this. Like, this is just dead.
Do you have lockdown uni?
Yeah. That played a role as well. And I remember one time, some guy came in because I'd done some magical real work experiences.
Nice.
And he came in and he was like, yeah, so I got a degree and I'm struggling. Like,
you know, I hear that. I'm like, raw.
I got a degree. Yeah. He said, I got a degree. I'm struggling. I'm working in a care home. This, that. And I remember like months back, I'd done, years back at this time, I'd done a placement, with my college at a care home. And that was just a complete madness. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to disrespect people's names and all that, but of course. It just stunk of shit. And like, but it just wasn't for me. Like, you couldn't handle it. There's no way I'm spending 50k on uni to go and do like big up the people, and I got the patience for that. But that's not.
No, but it's because it's not what you want to do.
It's not me.
Yeah, you haven't got.
So when the guy said to me like, I'm gonna be where I was when I was in college, talking about obviously everyone's different, but when he's saying that he's done that, and the other guy came and said he's got a master's, and he said it's hard, like the competition is mad, and this, that, and blah, blah, blah. And I just thought to myself, like,
they're really just demotivating you guys.
That broke my heart. I was like, yo, I remember that same day I just went home and I sent an email to the department, just said, look, pause my studies. Like, I don't want to do this no more. And since then, I just never went back. Because I'm like, yeah. And I'm glad that I did that. And even now, though, like when I'm at work and I'm doing my thing and I get my money, I'm seeing my student loan come out. I'm thinking, fuck, man. Like, I should have just
finished. Because you're taking money out anyway.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't quit.
Yeah.
First year was vibes.
Yeah.
You get it? And I'm somebody that I didn't attend uni. Yeah. Like, I would attend like 2-3 lectures and I'm up just to show.
Was all the motives?
Yeah. Though? No. Anyways.
I'm not going to bait you out.
I was just somebody that, like, obviously my course was practical anyway. It was majority practical.
Yeah.
It was like 80% practical, 20% theory. And I would just get the coursework whenever the coursework was set and then cool. I did my coursework at SMID and you'd not see me. Literally, you wouldn't see me. And then lockdown hit. And they tried to make my practical course into a theory course. Oh, that's when they really didn't see me. They were like,
how can you make theory out of film production, though?
They were like, you have to write a dissertation. A dissertation?
How would that work, though?
Imagine a dissertation. This is what this was. They said, you have to write a dissertation and you have to make up your own question about film. And then we'll judge you based on your own question that you made up.
They've done the same thing with psychology, but that's more understandable. But the one thing with psychology that put me off was I had a module called and people that do psych, they would know straight away when I say this. It was research methods and statistics. You see that module there? That module, that made the class decrease by like half when that got introduced. Like, it's basically you have to sit in. Bear in mind, this is psychology, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to sit in front of like some computer thing, and then you have to like program something to do coding and all these kind of things. And what that's got to do with actual psychology? Yeah. You have to program it to make plot graphs and all these kind of. It used to do my head in, but I'm not gonna lie, low key, I just got some.
That's why they used to say you need to do maths for psychology.
You have to be very good at maths. But I'm good at maths, but I hated that.
See, I wanted to do psychology in sixth form, and I mean, me and maths, we don't go on, we're not friends.
Yeah, don't do
and they didn't accept me. I was like, bro. I was like, what? Because my maths is that bad. You don't want me to study this field? Crazy. I'm like, psychology is about the brain and people and tapping in and help. I'm a mindset coach. I've got a mindset coaching diploma as well.
Okay.
Because I've always wanted to study like psychology and sociology, understanding people's minds, how they work, like their triggers, their traumas, why, is it the environment, is it how they were raised, is it whatever, like that stuff fascinates me. Especially how the brain works and how everyone's slightly wired differently, but it's the same and all this, it's just mad. I think it's so interesting. But I remember thinking, because I think in A-levels, what did I do? I did PE, media, because we didn't have no film, PE, media, politics. PE, media, politics, English lit and English lang.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because...
And then I dropped politics in second year.
Yeah, what's politics like? I know what it is, but like, what are you learning about? Like the history of politics?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah, well, the first year was history of politics and that's when I tapped out.
Politics. I personally feel like, especially in uni, unless you're doing something that's going to guarantee you a job, like nursing... Or something like
something that requires an academic degree like a level
to
like,
do it.
Yeah, accounting, business, nursing, even business. Actually, to be fair, you can you do a course, but teaching stuff like that where you need these things.
If you're not doing it, then it's a scam. Especially with now like how people be with the internet, how people are making money on the internet. Like it's a scam. Like look at this. Like you studied film and you've got a podcast here set up and you're basically patting a lot of it yourself.
Right.
If it will blow, but I'm just saying for the conversation's sake, if this blows, no one's gonna say it to you. So you see your degree, yeah? Like, did you get a first? Did you get
Oh, darling, since I left, no one has asked me about my degree. I've got jobs, I've worked with studios, I've freelanced, no one has uttered, do you have a degree?
Yeah.
They don't even know, not even film. Do you have a degree? They don't know. They don't ask. Like, it's mad.
That must make you feel like shit, though.
Do you know what's even worse? Do you know what's even worse?
Go on.
I never wanted to go to uni. I never wanted to go to uni.
Parents forced you to do it.
I wasn't forced.
Yeah.
I told my dad, look.
I'm not Nigerian, but I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not British. So I know how it goes.
I obviously my parents never went to uni in it. Like they just they worked back home. Like, didn't go to uni, but they worked. My dad was like to me, and I'm the oldest as well, so imagine. I was like, Dad, like I sat him down proper things, like made him his coffee, everything. I was like, I don't want
so you proper trying to sweeten him up?
Yeah. Because like, you see me, yeah, you know, when it comes to your parents, it's when they're quiet, is when they're scary. Like, especially my pops. Like, when my dad is sat there silent and just listening, I'm like, you don't know what to expect. Yeah. So I was like, obviously, like, I don't want to go to uni. Like, I would rather do an apprenticeship. And now I'm pitching this apprenticeship thing. I would still get a degree, but
what was you going to do the apprenticeship in?
I was going to do my apprenticeship in TV and film production.
You probably that could have been a madness, you know.
Trust me. Would have been up. Would have been up instead of being in debt. Though. But whatever. Yeah. Cool. My dad's like, okay. And then he starts crying. I said,
wait, your dad started crying?
My dad bawled his eyes out. He's like, how's my first daughter? Like, he's like, okay, I can support you, but you're my first child. We have come here and suffered. We didn't go to uni. And all we wanted was for you to go to uni. And I was like, I have to go now. I have to go.
That's the worst.
I have to go.
It's sad, you know, because obviously they come over here like thinking that the degree is the be all the end all.
Right.
But the degree doesn't even guarantee you.
Right. And now that I'm in my life where I said, yeah, you wanted me to go uni, look at me now. Now I'm freelancing and doing my thing.
What does he say now out of curiosity? Like,
I don't know, bruv. My dad's just do you know what it is? Yeah. It got to graduation. He loved the gown and the cap and the getting the thing with the white man. He loved the proper English thing, took the photos, and he never mentioned anything to me ever again. And I was like, and he said to me, he was like, oh, as soon as I took these photos, he just sent them to the group chats, family group chats that pop off.
Flexing, my daughter went to
my daughter's got a degree and she's in England. She get it with the robe and the cap. That's it. It's image gang. I swear, African parents, you stress me out. But obviously he was proud, and even now to this day, because my parents know that this is something that I've built from the ground up, like on my own, like trying to get out the mud. And doing what I do outside of this as well. They're very supportive, and you know, my mum is very much like, where's the money? And I get it. I really get it, because even me, I'm like, where's the money? And you get it. Where is the cash? But I know that they believe in me enough to let me get there. Does that make sense? Because I feel like a lot of households, they might believe in your thing, but after a certain point, it's like, you need to make money, G.
Yeah, like, I mean, I know that part is pending for me still, because like, I work, obviously I'm working, I'm doing my things, I'm cool, but in terms of the music thing, it is going to get to a point where I feel like, yo, so,
what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time?
I remember the first time I told Mum I was going to do music, you know, it was a madness. Like, I just one day just came back and I just said, Mum, like, what would you do? I just posed the question. I said, what would you do, if I just said to you that I'm going to just do music like full time in the future? She just looked, bear in mind at this point, like no one even knew that, because before this I was playing football at a high level.
Oh, wow.
I used to play at the academy team for West Brom.
Nice.
So I just stopped doing that and whatever. I was just like, Mum, like, what would you do if I just wanted to just do music like full time, like at one point? And my mum just like burst out laughing. She's like, what do you mean, like music? Like, I've never heard this thing like
anything
that.
creative, they take it as a joke.
So I'm the kind of person, I'm like, all right, so
let me show you. We're the same. I'm with that.
So I literally got my computer. Well, I got a computer and secretly just started just making beats on song, and I kept hearing them recordings like shit. Just start again, and then I made a song called You and I. Yeah, it's still on my YouTube now still. And what I like to do when I'm showing people my music, like I don't like to say, this is my song, because people are going to gas because they know it's me. What I will do is I'll just run a playlist in the background and I'll just put my song
You just casually mix it in somewhere.
And see what happens.
See the reaction.
So I'm just running through tunes and whatever. And then that song came on. Because I sound very different when my music sounds different to my talking voice.
Yeah, of course.
So the song's on whatever now. And the song's come on now. And I'm talking to my mum, just acting like just that's not my song. And my mum's there just like
vibing.
So in my head, I'm thinking,
So it's like, little do you know, that was me.
So she says, yeah, like this is a good tune, like the bass and that. Like, who sings this? Whoever sings this, man, yeah, they must be rich and da 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 da. So at this point, I've already shot the video for it, but it wasn't out yet.
Okay.
So I just turned the phone to her because I knew she wasn't going to believe it was me. And she was like, wait, this is you. And I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to say. And ever since then, like, my mom's been like proper supportive. But I need people to kind of give me shit. I get motivated.
Yeah.
So I completely relate to you when you said like what you said. But what I was going to ask you though is, because now that you're here now, you're doing the pod and you're doing what you're doing, and your mom's saying, where's the money and all that's coming. Like, where do you plan on like taking the pod? Because obviously I like the pod. This is the reason why I come all the way from Brum to come here and sit down.
I'm so honoured, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so honoured.
I'm grateful to be here, man.
Yeah, and the fact that like you have come from the approach of like, you've watched my stuff.
You're
not just on a vibe of like you've seen a couple clips and you're thinking, yeah, she's cool. You've gone and like you've actually like sat through some of the content.
And the DMD man, they're a vibe, you know.
Yeah, people there.
Yeah, man, they're a vibe still.
Yeah, that was a bag. Those episodes, bagging. What is my plans?
Yeah.
What do I want?
If you can say though.
Within the pod?
Within the pod. Outside the pod, whatever. Like, what do you plan?
Ideally, like, and actually, this might be good to speak on this properly because you people are going to help me get there.
Let's go. Everyone like and subscribe, all them things.
100, turn on the notification bell as well so you know when I upload, all of that good stuff. My plan, hopefully, fingers crossed, this year, I want to start going live. So I want
live as in
live sit-down pod events, and I bring my guests.
Is it in front of a crowd or live streaming?
No, in front of a crowd.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we can live stream, but honestly, I'm more of my aim is I want to have my own show.
Yeah.
Like I want to land a daytime TV slot or a nighttime TV slot or something when it comes to the pod and have my own running show. Like, and taking it live for me is really important because I don't get to see the people. Do you know what I mean? And I want to see the people. I want to have a really interactive session. I've got good people around me that are willing to be guests and jump on. I've got artists, I've got DJs. I want to make something really beautiful out of this, and I want to be able to do it frequently. Yeah. Like I want to do 1-2 this year, and then hopefully next year, like I want to do one every month.
Flipping out.
Point blank. Like,
you know what? Go. Not only that's where the money is, but like that's the quickest and easiest way to sort of build a fan base. Yeah. When someone comes out of their yard and pays money to come and see you, right? Or even if it's just a free event at first, like when you see live bodies putting bombs in seats and you give them a vibe, they'll always remember that.
100%. And the fact that people want it, like for me is mad. Yeah. Like people want to see me live. Like they want to see Conscious Conversations in a venue. They're popping up. We're doing our thing and we're having a good time. And that means a lot to me because that means, of course, cool. Like you lot believe in my thing.
You're unaware of how much people actually really like this podcast, you know. I feel like you're unaware of that. Yeah. Like I'm using myself as an example. Like I was watching the podcast way before I even started following the page. So sometimes like, and I realize this as well, even like with my stuff, like sometimes like people are not everyone is following, commenting on everything, but some people just tune in when the show's on. Like with me, sometimes I get people message me from like Amsterdam and places like that saying like, yo, like I heard this song and I like the way how you said it's me again. Yeah. And I'm just there like, bro, like we don't even follow each other, but like some people just tune in when it's time. Like there's celebrities that you probably rock with, but you don't follow them on Instagram. But when they put stuff out, you see it. Right. So like don't I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying in general, like don't get caught up in numbers. I feel like sometimes we do that as creatives. We think X amount of numbers means this and whatever, but the numbers don't mean anything. It's about the quality of the numbers. There's so much people that have got 1 billion followers, but they get 5 comments. It's about the quality of the people that you have.
100%. And that is why, like, I want to be live. Exactly. I want to do live shows because I want to find a balance where I can give back and be able to provide something where people can come and actually be there. Yeah. Like I want to have those one-to-ones. I want to have those like. Have my crowd, you know what I mean? If anyone in the crowd wants to sit and have a conversation, let's go. We can rotate between guests, like we can play games in between, we can do our thing. I love that because all I want to do is bring people together. That's all I want to do. And if I can do that through my platform, like...
But it's doable though, and you will do it. And as I said, like there's so much people that watch this podcast that you're not aware of. Like me and the man don't watch this.
I love it. Shout out to the man. You get me brown time.
I will look north. That's what I'm saying. So I could imagine there's the amount of people in London that someone knows, that someone else knows, that someone knows that watch the thing. So like, yeah, man, just keep it pushing, man. If you're in a live event, I'm about stuff.
Period. 100. Don't ever listen. When I go and do my first live event, I'm shouting everyone. Everyone that's ever made an appearance, everyone that's ever shown me love, anyone that's ever tried to support me, whether it's like advice or like financially, or because people don't understand, like it takes a lot to keep this running.
Of course.
Especially if you're doing it by yourself. Like I don't have a group of people where we can split payments or we can split certain things, or when it comes to equipment or editors or.
So is it literally solely just you then?
Yeah.
So down.
Just me, myself, and I.
So you know what? Sometimes it's the best way, because
100.
I relate to that, because like with me, like I do most of the production, mixing, song, all that myself.
Yeah.
And like for me, back when I was booking sessions and stuff, which is long when you got other people in the mix, because they're not gonna prioritize. You're not gonna prioritize your thing like how you are.
100%, and that's my biggest, like, I'm a director. Do you get?
Yeah.
So like that. On top of that, that is my biggest like fear.
Yeah.
I can't work with people who don't understand my vision, and I can't work with people who aren't willing to have the patience and the faith in my vision that I have for myself, and I would have for other people, because I'm in that position.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have that with me, I can't work with you. And unfortunately, in London, it's very much like that. Like,
is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like London is the best place to do like a lot of things.
I think London is the best place because there's more open opportunity and there's a lot more integration, right? But within industry, within like trying to build on your own, within like making something of yourself, it's hard.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that though. Then again, I'm from somewhere else,
right.
So I would feel like that. But
like, for example, when I've been to Brum, do you know what I mean? Like,
elsewhere.
Yeah, I've been to Brum. I mean, yeah. And what does
that mean?
I don't know where my head went.
Yeah, you can diss the city still.
Well, anyways, like what I was saying was,
Brum, I feel you. I'm always down here, so I understand still.
But Brum has a community. I feel like within your community, you don't feel it because you're from there and whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I think maybe it's how we.
I don't feel like that's true.
But then, do you know what? Then if
community in what because
in terms of like, I feel like people have each other's backs there.
Why does everyone that's not from Brum feel like that? Because I'm from up there, and I personally feel like you have to be accepted by the Londoners first before that occurs, especially as a musician.
I think career industry stuff like that is evidently like there's a separation. Do you know what I mean? Because London is the main city, it's the capital, and that's where things happen. And you know, especially if you wanted to take things overseas and stuff, this is your main source, right?
Yeah,
I understand that, but in terms of like industry, in terms of like pushing people to be better, yes, there's always people that are going to be out there for themselves. But just because the pool is bigger here doesn't mean that it's better here.
I know what you're saying, because a lot of people are probably jaded here because there's a lot of people doing the same thing. But for me personally, anytime I've came to London, it's just been straight love. Like most of the shows that I get asked to do are down here.
Sick. Like
in Brum, it's not like that. I feel like you have to kind of be accepted here first before they start messing with you.
What?
Because millions, like for example, like I'm talking about music.
Yeah. Within the industry, yeah.
Like with Millions was doing this thing full time, but he only really started popping really once the Londoners started rocking with him.
I hear you.
So that's why, like, when people say things like, "Oh, as a Brum artist, it's hard and whatever," I think it's way easier if you're not from London when it comes to music, because we're not from here. We're different.
Yeah, so, you have a USP.
Exactly.
Like, you have a unique selling point, right?
Yeah, so it's different. Yeah. But in terms of the community thing, like, it's harder in Brum because up there, all of us are the same. Like, we're used to hearing our funny accents and shit, so it's normal.
Right.
But I feel like we're getting better than what we used to be. But I feel like the best place for community is Manchester and Liverpool. They are the best when it comes to that.
I want to go Manchester. I haven't been Manny.
You haven't been?
I would love to go to Manny.
Yeah,
Liverpool, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything out there for me. Manny, you know, we could rock up to Manny anytime. Do you get it?
Manchester and Liverpool are the best. If you're the kind of person that, obviously, this is gonna grow in it. And when I don't know if it already has, but when the Northerners start rocking with it, you'll feel it 10 times more.
I'm with it. I love it up north, I do.
Liverpool guys, just in general, like Liverpool people are way more friendly than anywhere else. Like,
really?
The first time I went there, I was walking on the street, everyone's like, you're right. Okay,
do you know where I felt like that? I've got family in Belfast, in Ireland.
Okay.
Everyone in Ireland is lovely.
Yeah,
because they don't care. They don't care if you're black, white, this, that, like.
Because they've had it rough. So
you know, I feel like as minorities in London, we always say the Irish are the ones that get us. They're like us. They're our version of the Caucasians. Because like they've been through the mud too, and and they're very like, they understand, and because they understand, they're accepting. I've never felt love like that anywhere. Well, outside of like the motherland, I've never felt love like that anywhere else.
When you start doing live shows, trust me, I promise you.
Yeah.
Do one up north.
100. No.
Trust me.
I want to do one in Brum in Knots, and if we can get Manny sorted.
Knots is another one as well. Yeah. Knots is another one, but I think Liverpool is the best one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what? You have to take me to Liverpool then.
Yeah.
We'll do a trip and we'll go up.
I'm on it.
We'll go.
It's quite a distance for you, though. It's a distance for me.
Oh, there you go. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else you wanted to do before we get into my final segment? Anything you wanted to say?
I want to say that I got a song coming out, but my distributors are messing around the tune that's coming out for this month.
Right.
But within the next week or two or so, there's gonna be another song coming out, and I've done a remix of The Weeknd's All Now song. If you go on my profile, you'll see it's official. That'll be coming within the next 2 weeks.
Sick. I mean, you lot know, like, all of the stuff will be linked in the description anyways.
Yeah, my respect.
All of his, like, streaming services, his Instagram, like, everything. So make sure you check him out. Obviously, you already know he's here, so he's sick, he's a vibe. The music's good, do you know what I mean? Yeah. We're young, we're hungry, we're growing, we're building. So let's support each other, let's show love. Go over, obviously you upload on your channel as well, the music videos and stuff. So go over there and say Conscious Conversations I sent you, okay? Just like CC in the motherfucking comments. Like, so if you know, you know, do you get it? Just be like CC and see who knows.
Come on.
It's my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've seen my episodes, so I want to know if you know what this part is.
I actually don't, go on.
I do riddles at the end of my episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I ask around 3 riddles.
All right.
I normally have a book, but the person, we haven't had a response yet because the last episode, they were supposed to sponsor me. So, Mr. Bookman, whenever you're ready to sponsor me.
Wait, so he's supposed to put...
Yeah. So, Mr. Bookman, when you're ready to sponsor me, the book can come back on camera. As for now, we're going to the web.
Go on.
How good are you with riddles?
Oh, okay. I don't know. We have to.
Do you know? When was the last time you even had a riddle? Probably time ago, isn't it?
Time ago, still.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm gonna start off easier.
Go on. I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Bro, why did I think of a shit straight away? The more you take, I don't know why it came to my head. The more you take,
the more you leave behind. What am I?
I was gonna say air, but no, like the more you take, the more you leave behind.
The more you take.
See, this is why I can't do riddles. I just start deep in life and that. Like,
where's your head at?
I'm trying to think. Like,
logically, yeah. Use your logical hat for this. Yeah. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What does that mean?
Take it, so I'm leaving it behind.
But what does that mean?
Nah, I'll give up.
You give up?
I can't think.
You can't be doing this for Bram. What's going on?
Wait, hold on. Let me think. The more you take, the more you leave behind.
Listen, I want all you... for everyone else from up north, I want you to get out of here in the comments.
Yeah, I already deserve it still.
Are you crazy?
The more you take, the more you leave behind.
What must that mean? Like...
You take yourself, but you leave it behind. What do you take? Nah, I'm buffering.
Yeah? You're done?
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Do you want an answer?
I feel like it's doing my head in still. Go on.
Footsteps.
Oh, for footsteps.
Right! Because the more you take,
the more you leave behind. All right.
So when I say to you, what does that mean? That means you must be moving forward. Right?
All right. Then I wasn't thinking outside of the box.
You get it.
I was thinking about air. I don't know why I thought of shit.
I don't know why I don't know why
I thought that still.
Child. Oh my gosh. Okay, second one. Redemption. Think about this one.
Worse though.
Maybe. What 5-letter word typed in all capital letters can be read the same upside down? So if you had a word in all capitals, 5 letters, if you flipped it, it would read the exact same word. What would it be?
I'm done out here.
You couldn't get footsteps, so you want to get this one.
I'm done out here, What word?
That is jokes.
5-letter word. F-U-C-K. Oh, shit.
No.
Nope. Oh, man, I'm really shit at this.
Wow.
Yo, no. Yo-yo's 4 words. 4 letters.
5 letters is what you need.
House. No.
House. How can you spell house backwards and it will say house? Think about it. If you flip something over, that means from back to front, it says the same word regardless of which way you read it. So what words can do that? 5 letters.
No, I'm lost, you know.
Yeah! Said Miriam, I'm done.
I'm done out here,
I'm done.
man.
Do you want the answer?
Go on.
Swims. So swims backwards is swims.
Yo. This is why I dropped out of uni, man.
Well, do you know what? Yeah. To be honest, I always say if I was on the receiving end of this, I wouldn't get any of this. My brain does not work like that.
All the answers on that.
Yeah. I'm the Riddler. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Third one.
Oh, man.
What goes up but never comes down?
Right, I know this one.
You do know this one.
I feel like I've heard this one.
You've definitely heard this one.
What goes up but never comes down?
It never comes down.
I've heard this one before, though.
Okay, easy. What's the one thing that can only go up?
I don't want to say so. I'm dumb.
Well, that's up to you now.
The one thing that can only go up, I'm thinking like air, clouds.
Why are you going for air for every answer? You said oxygen. Just oxygen. Just breathe. Just breathe. No, not air.
One thing that can just go up.
Oh, come on. The man them have to be getting onto you. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm going to get...
Yeah. If I'm expecting you not to get onto him.
Oh, man, the one thing that can go up. Yeah, I'm tapping that still.
No, you have to guess this one. Give me any guess.
I've heard it before, though. I've heard this one before.
Think about it, okay? What can go up? Okay, but doesn't come down. Think about life. In life, yeah. You can only go up. You can't go down.
Well, like your age.
There you go.
Oh, I see, I got one. Yeah, man.
I had to spoon feed that to you still.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Right.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. I fucks with you heavy.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to everyone that's been showing love. You guys, make sure you go check out all of his links. Follow him, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, all that good stuff so you know when he's dropping his music and the videos and whatever the weather. Keep up, let a man know. Is he doing his thing? Is he not? Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to know. Do you get it?
Yeah, man.
Yes. Another announcement. So speaking of trying to keep the podcast running, I have attached my Cash App link to the pod. So anybody that would like to help fund the process, obviously it's not a by force thing, but if you'd like to help, we would appreciate the help because we're all trying to make it out together. So it's there. Otherwise, yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Man.
Sorry. I can't speak. I feel like even the riddles just come and taken the words out of me.
That riddle's just my head, I'm sitting there thinking about life.
You're like, it's been great.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
honestly.
I hope you've enjoyed.
Yeah.
And are you coming back?
Yeah, just shout me.
Period.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a wrap, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Cool.